Hey! Reviews!
Back up in here, yo!
Wow, we just got back from watching
Keanu
Reeves
Replicas
and Replicas. The new cologne crime mystery thriller?
Sci-fi, a little bit of everything. Drama.
Dropped at a time when there's not much else out there really, except for, Aquaman and Bumblebee. There's a couple other movies that are coming out too, but we'll go over those later.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Replicas.
Yes, Replicas.
And how it probably should have been on Netflix instead of the theater.
I mean, also only because the special effects at the end weren't like
amazing,
super high quality. They were just like, we have special effects.
So I'm gonna attribute that to the fact that there's a movie that he's in too. I don't know if you've ever seen Tai Chi Man.
Tai Chi Man? No.
With Keanu Reeves, also very low.
Oh no, the man from Tai Chi or whatever. I've seen that.
Okay, so that's also very low budget and something that he produced.
Yes.
So this film, I don't know if you noticed in the credits, he also produced this as well. So kind of a small budget. They don't really have a whole lot of special effects where they need it. And then the plot itself is it's a little riddled with holes. There's some stuff to like about this movie and a whole lot not to like about it. There's a ton of stuff you can pick apart and be like, well, that's probably wouldn't happen. Oh, that doesn't make sense.
I think part of it, it's like they're trying to go with he doesn't think of everything, but then that's part of his thought process and how out of his mind, I guess, he's in at certain times. I guess that's kind of because
some things make sense.
Like there's a lot of holes because
I'm just talking about some of the other things where, like, he himself is like, I'm just gonna stay here hidden type of thing, without going to spoiler stuff. There's some timeline stuff and there's just some natural things that kind of happen in the film where you're just like, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But I think they do a decent job capturing of the essence of what they say in the film as the tagline, right? Yeah. He's a scientist that becomes obsessed with bringing his family back to life after they died from a car accident, right? And I think he does a good job portraying that. Like, he goes through all the range of emotions where he's, like, extremely sad, then he's obsessed with trying to bring them back, and then he's sad again, because this all just happens in the course of 17 days. Yes. Maybe a little bit more. Overall, how would you say you thought they did acting-wise with the material they were given?
At points, it's kind of not the best, I guess you'd say, lines that are given out in terms of some of the dialogue. Overall, I didn't have too much of an issue, but I think sometimes it's just like, it wasn't needed for a lot of like dialogue or a lot of acting. It's a lot of just like computer science, standing in front of a computer, standing in front of something else, or doing something like that, where they're trying cool like Minority Report moments and things like that.
Stealing from Jarvis and Iron Man.
Yeah. So, for that part, they leaned more on Keanu Reeves more than anything. So they're like, hey, can't go wrong if you
carry the film.
You carry the film. So he's like, you carry the film. We just go ahead, try and help you out for the most part. So overall, the acting wasn't too bad. It didn't really like distract you so much from the movie.
Yeah. So we'll get into the recommendation. Would you recommend this film, and what do you give it for its rating?
I recommend it. It's not. It's like I said. It's kind of like a decent Netflix movie. It's not like something I'm gonna go out and be like, "Yo, I need to see this now." It's okay if it's on. I'm not really too upset that I sat and watched it if I was chilling at home, but for a movie theater, nah.
And what do you give it for its rating?
Like probably 2.5. At best. If the special effects are better, maybe a 3, but it was okay.
I'm going to give it a solid 2. The reason why I'm going to give it a solid 2 is because I actually am a fan of Keanu Reeves films in general. And this is just a hair better than Man of Tai Chi. And that movie is pretty bad. Yeah. But it's one of those films I just kind of like watched through. And then this is another one of those films where I was just like, good gravy, how long is this film? And its running time is 1 hour 47 minutes. You definitely feel it.
I think it builds, the beginning is so slow. And I feel like they could have sped up that a little bit.
Yes. Montages. Great thing of film. Magical, actually. A montage of some of the scenes that they showed us would have been very, very helpful. I understand what they were trying to go for, where they were trying to do character building and, cause momentum to kind of mount and, for the audience to kind of be like, ooh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
How is this going to play out? But if you've seen a trailer for the movie, you kind of know that, he is going to replicate them. So there's not really anything to, gain from that. So yeah, a solid 2 for me. Maybe a 2.5 if I give into my inner Keanu Reeves actor fan. So yeah, I don't think you need to see it in the theater at all. Definitely, you can just wait, chill till Netflix, comes around. So yeah. Okay, now a spoiler.
Spoiler times.
Basically, how does it end, Ian? How does it end? Let us know.
How's it end?
We don't need to know about the rest of it. How's it end? How's it end? How does it end?
He's in a robot.
Oh wow. Okay, so
I mean that's technically how it is. He's in a robot at the end of the movie.
He is. Okay, but that's not all there is. So somewhere in the middle of the movie, I would say, just about, he comes up with the great idea to transfer his own consciousness while he's in a toilet stall. Awesome sanitary place to do such a,
I mean, it's a sterile needle.
Medical procedure. So he gets his consciousness, and towards the end of the film, he's like, "Oh, you want this algorithm? Bloop, 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 bloop. Here, I put it on this drive." But what he was really doing was putting it on the drive, but also transferring that consciousness to the robot 345, and then he ends up being in 345 and in his physical body. So there's basically 2 of him.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, a robot him and a real him, and he basically uses the robot him to save his family because he didn't realize that this company he's working for was basically possibly like a criminal organization or something like that.
Or militarized or something.
Well, they weren't working for the military. He says
militarized.
Militarized, but yeah, like they're like basically wanting to use it for whoever the highest bidder was. They're just basically mercenaries, I guess.
Yeah, because he was talking to him about like, oh, imagine if you could put a hacker into a virus. Imagine if you could put a sniper into drones. Yeah. And he's this, So
yeah, they kind of just was like, all right, he's working for this kind of evil company that just wants to get money and any means necessary, and he clones his family. And they're like, yeah, think you got that vibe like just on luck? Like we allowed that to happen.
Yeah, it basically revealed to him that like, hey, we allowed all this because we figured, hey, you're working under pressure, you're under stress. No better way to make something come to fruition than doing it under pressure.
At first he was gonna say, I thought he was gonna say like they actually set it up so his family would die.
Oh, that would be horrible.
I thought that was what was gonna happen and they set it up, but then like, oh no, that was just fate. And I was like, that would have been cool if you actually would have set it up.
It wouldn't have been a tree and then him spinning off the road though.
Probably. I know it was just something else. Like messed up the tire for the.
Yeah, or like purposely someone would have hit him when a car crashed or something. You know what I mean?
That would have been better in terms of motivation. They're like, oh, it just had like
very evil thoughts over here.
But I'm just saying in terms of motivation, him and getting him.
They purposely killed his
because
family.
like it's just weird how they set it up. Like, oh, they're about to go out of business and they're about to get stuck because they can't do it anymore. And then that week, his family all dies.
So I think that was all built up pressure because like how he says, right? Like he said that under pressure, he said geniuses usually give up their best work. So I think he was trying to pressure him, and then the fact that it was fate that his family ended up dying when that all happened. So I don't think they were ever really gonna like not give him money. I think he was trying to pressure him to get results.
So it's like, oh, we're all going to have business. We're all going to be broke.
Yeah.
And if you don't do this now, then you're all going to basically get a job. And thinking that was going to pressure him into doing whatever. But the one thing I had, and I think the plot hole that we both had is there was 3 pods, but there's 4 family members.
Oh yes. Okay, so when they go back to Bio 9 and they're looking inside there, and he's showing them off the clone pods. There's like 2 or 3 that you can see easily in the scene. So he ends up transporting 3 to the house, and Keanu's like, I need 4. There's 4 members of my family. I got 3 kids and my wife. And he's like, I can only get you 3.
Like these things cost $1.7 million. I can't just grow these things. Like,
well, he ends up deciding like, I can only bring back 2 kids, and oops to the rest.
He's like, my wife is for sure.
Yeah.
And then he's like basically wrote down all their names on paper. Was like, hey, my wife for sure, and now it's the 3 kids. So one of the 3 can't be brought back.
Yeah.
And he puts their name in a bowl and was like,
You paid for me, and the dude's like, nah, man, I've done enough for you today, man.
Like, this is all on you.
It's
You
all
gotta
on you.
live with this decision.
So he ends up, unfortunately, picking the youngest, to which he's watching these pods, and he eventually needs to go into work. As they're all in work, they literally pass the same 2 or 3 clone cubes.
Yeah, like he's talking to a guy like, hey, what's going on? What are we doing at work? Can you come in?
And they're like right there.
And he's like, there's pods behind him. I'm like, why can't you use those pods that was right there? Like, what's the difference between the pods that
I'm guessing that those were spare ones that he got a hold of or something. I don't know.
And it's just like, and then the thing is, he didn't bring the daughter back. So instead of just saying, hey, the daughter's dead, she died in the crash, because they're technically still have memories from the crash. So they're dead. He goes in and deletes the daughter's memory from all the family members, which I'm like, they have like, and then they have pictures and family and friends
and
that
there's a small scene where like technically her memories are represented by red. If you remember, she liked to draw on a red crayon.
Yeah.
She wore a red dress, so her favorite color was red. So I thought it was just strange that they made her memories red. And then there's a small like dot as he like exits the program. I'm like, oh, so like he actually deleted it all. Like, and I'm not sure if that's just a purposefully left, kind of like film edit, or like it was a bad edit and they forgot to take that part out. But it's there. So of course they end up remembering who's Zoe. Zoe? Zoe's in crayon in the closet.
Yeah, who's
and the wife's
Zoe?
like, I had another kid. You know. So.
Well, see, the wife first saw like a little
I
vision.
remember bunk beds.
A little vision of the kid in the they're picking out Christmas trees or whatever it was. And then the daughter says, "Who's Zoe?" Because I see it's written in my closet. And then it kind of just
so she says it the night when she's having the dream.
Yeah.
She says Zoe twice. He doesn't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So when she's having the nightmare, actual memory of them
crashing
in the car crash. Yeah, he says the name too. So.
And then like, he basically kind of like keeps them all alive while he's basically cloning them, like using all their social media and their phones, saying, "Hey, we're gone," and texting their friends, and then this
masquerading as them.
But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, you deleted the daughter. I'm like, how are you gonna get to? They have friends that all know that they have a youngest. How all of a sudden when people ask, "How's your little sister?" What little sister? Like they're just gonna be okay. Like, no, we're good. We never had one.
Yeah, no, we didn't have a third child.
Yeah. And I guess he was like one. I guess his idea was just to move because they were gonna move.
Oh, to that point, they were in Puerto Rico, I think, or something like that, somewhere in South America. Yeah. So it's possible that maybe not everyone there knew.
Yeah. Like
friends and family, like really close family or something, probably would have.
Well, the grandparents supposedly are dead.
Yeah.
So they figure he'll just move to a new area that no one knows them, and no one is gonna be looking for the youngest daughter.
Yep. And then they get away scot-free, no problems.
Yes.
So ending was okay. The fact that they bring back the guy Jones, and that the
main villain, the guy that ran the corporation, basically he uses his robot self to basically kill him, and then they bring him back as a replica, and then he basically said, "Do you want to make a bunch of money?" And so they basically just do this process for rich people. That are super rich old people, and you just see the robot him basically running a clone empire, basically. Just like, you want to live longer, you're like 90, you're worth $1 billion. How about
keep the party going?
Like, how you want to start again at 20? Let's go.
Yep.
So I mean, you could see how that's a good process and whatever, but I'm like, eventually that's when it goes wrong.
Yeah. So there will definitely not be a sequel to this.
Yes.
I don't predict it'll be in a theater too long. I'd give it like a week or two at most, and then I'll probably pull it. You'll probably be able to watch this on home video 3-4 weeks maybe at most.
Probably. Oh, for streaming and stuff, it'll still probably be like
3-4 weeks. Probably it'll be on streaming as well.
But not that close.
Not that close.
It'll probably be like 3 months.
I'll give it 2. You heard it here first. I'll give it 2, and you'll probably be able to stream this. At this time,
someone's like, I'm streaming it right now.
Right? Like, comment, and subscribe. Is there anything else you want to add on that one?
I guess that we pretty much covered most of the holes and everything else in it. I mean, there's not much more to go about it.
So like, comment, subscribe. Thank you all again for all the love. All the love. We really, really appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next review We're out. Peace. You can take a ramen.